Strategy number 3 for my study skills notebook is the Bingo Interactive Exam Review strategy. I did it for the Advanced Animal Science Agriculture content area for 11th and 12th graders. The TEKS, they cover advanced animal science topics, including evaluation, grading, and consumption or commodity of livestock. Instructions for use, it'll kind of make sense more once I showed my made example. But pretty much you tell the students that they're going to use a bingo board to kind of review during class for an exam prep or review, and then they can use it as a good study guide. But you tell them that they're going to prepare for the test over the topic during class, and the topic would be livestock eval, grading, and consumption to cover the TEKS, and that the bingo board is going to serve as a 25 concept or question study guide for their own use. So to start out, as a teacher, you create 5 different bingo cards with randomly numbered spaces. So there's going to be 25 boxes in the bingo card, and you randomly put numbers 1 through 25 in the different boxes. But you randomly do the numbers on 5 different cards just so all the cards aren't the same. And the 1 through 25 should correspond to the answer key or questions you have. So I'll show that too. You got 25 questions, so you just put each number in the box and it'll correspond to the answer key. Each box on the bingo board can be filled with a question or an answer over the topic above, so it just doesn't have to be questions. You can put the answer and then the students have to give the question during the study review. Questions can be multiple choice, fill in the blank, true or false, or responses where the students have to list or give the answer straight up. The next thing you're going to do, pick a class, that's the preparation for it. Pick a class day to have a review using the bingo board or strategy over the topic that they're going to have the exam over. So if you're going to have an exam or test on Friday, you might do this on a Wednesday or Thursday for student preparedness and success ratio. Assign each group, like divide the students into groups of 5 and then give each group a different bingo card you created. That works good for a class of 25 because there's obviously 5 times 5 cards for groups of 5 will be good for the class of 25. So once again, they're in groups of 5, they each get a card. And then you as a teacher, you randomly select a number. You can do it off the top of your head or cut up numbers 1 through 25 and pick them from a bag. Randomly select a number and then that number, go to your answer key and call out either the question or answer you have, and then the students will have 1 minute to correspond on their bingo board and answer that question. And basically what they do, they get 1 minute to answer them. They can use their notes or quizzes so they can go over the material again and look over their notes. That's also a good study strategy within this own study strategy. And they can do that because it's a review, not the actual test, so I don't have a problem with them using their notes. And the first group of students to form a line of 5, vertical, diagonal, or horizontal, like a regular game of bingo, will be declared the winners. And what they can do, each number on the bingo board, each box will have a number. So instead of marking out the whole box that covers up the question and answer, they can just mark out the actual little number until they form the line of 5. And then once they call out bingo, the teacher will kind of be the caller or the checker. They will tell the teacher the number and then their corresponding answer or question, and the teacher will make sure that is correct. And if the line of 5 is correct, that group will win, and they'll be rewarded by getting a few extra points on their tests. That's a good incentive for studying or reviewing, and make them really engage into it and pay attention if they know they can get extra points. And then after you do all that, if the whole class or a certain group struggled with the same question or answer, be sure to go over that to make it clear and serve as a good modeling strategy for study, and serve as like a good review of the question so they don't mess it up on the test. Strengths and benefits. One strength is that because there's 25 questions, you can give a bunch of variety of review questions and provide different formats due to the number of spaces you have. Then the article mentions that the students can enjoy the exam review while having the study guide, because they're in the game of bingo, so they're actually kind of into it and leaning towards getting extra points. And so they're learning and having fun at the same time. And then another benefit it says is that it leads to lively discussion about why answers are correct, and then gives the instructor an additional means of evaluating how students are doing. So that's what I was mentioning at the very last of the instructions for use. Go over questions that they don't understand. That's kind of one of the benefits article was saying. This is a made example, so you do a 5x5 grid, and each one of these grids it'll be all the same questions or answers, but the numbers will be different. Like number 1 on this grid is right here, but on another one might be right here. 14's right here. On another grid it might be in the top right. So you basically number each one 1 through 25, and then with the corresponding question or answers. So like here's a question right here. List 3 things you look for evaluating market class of swine. Number 7 will be in the answer key below that I'll show. Or here's the other side of it. The answer is China, and then whatever the question was, the student will provide the question in this case instead of the answer for number 19. So that's just a 5x5 board, and once again they can X out the actual number instead of the whole box to form their line of 5, so they can still see the questions and answers. And then this is a corresponding answer key. So 1 through 25 is going to be the same concepts, questions, and answers on the boards. Just the organization of where you put the numbers on each card is what's different. So you got 1 through 25. Number 1 answer is right here. Say number 8 answer is right there. So you can go to the board whenever they're calling back their answers, whenever they claim bingo or that they won. So if they say number 1, you can go look at, or number 1 and number 8, you can go look at your answer key. There's 1, there's 8, and then go back and find it. 1, and then 8, and then if 5 of them form a line, then they're obviously the bingo winners. Presnell wrote the article. Is full of a bunch of information, and it was a cool strategy to learn about. Once again, this was strategy number 3, the Bingo Interactive Exam Review Study Strategy. Thank you.